Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Porter had nothing to do with that book that was released with her picture on it that is now on the New York Times bestseller list. There's a story in there about Tupac, Kim Porter, and Sean Puffy Combs that is 100% a lie. I'm going to give you the timeline and the info to prove it to you. But more importantly, the guy who wrote the book, Todd is his name, but he wrote under the pseudonym of Jamal. Why would he do that? We know Jamal is an urban name, but we recently found out who the real author was. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd doesn't know anything about Straight Game TV, but after I get done here, he will know, and that we're doing this video under the fair use doctrine of the copyright law. So, ladies and gentlemen, no more time for foolery. Todd is a liar. Nobody gave him a hard drive. This book is filled with fabrications, and I'm going to show you the one in relation to my friend, the late great Tupac Shakur, and may Kim Porter rest in peace. Let's get into some of this Straight Game.
Life is like the cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. If you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this Straight Game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't really even know what to say. But I'll tell you this. When I exposed the fact that Faith Evans had lied in her book, and then I brung out the information to prove it to you, it went viral on The Art of Dialogue. And over 1 million people watched it. I'm going to show you the same thing, the same tactics that were used in this book that alleges that it's Kim Porter's last words. Nothing can be further from the truth. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to get into it like this. Pay very close attention to how I dissect this to show you that Tupac Shakur had nothing to do with Kim Porter and this situation never even happened. Let's go. So this chapter right here, or should I say paragraph, I'm just going to take a paragraph, right? You use as little as possible to get across this point. Based on the fair use doctrine of the copyright law. Let's do it like this. This is supposedly Kim Porter talking about when she met Tupac and she was dealing with Sean Puffy Combs. When I met Pac, Sean and I had an open relationship. And yes, I slept with Pac. Shit, he was sexy. Sean didn't mind. Well, not until he tried to get Pac to join both of us. Pac was not good with that. This is where the relationship between them became strained. Tupac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Pac wasn't gay, and he was pissed about the advances. We were all in Sean's house. I was drinking, they were smoking, and everyone was just relaxing. Sean came in on what I'm sure would be what he would call a smooth approach. My baby girl bad, isn't she? Pac threw me a sly smile. Hell yeah. I felt myself blush. Sean was now in full swing. You think you hit it better than me? I couldn't believe he was disrespecting me that way. Ladies and gentlemen, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. It is pure fiction. And I'm going to show you why, right? So we know for a fact that Sean P. Diddy Combs and Kim Porter, when they met, right? I'm going to show you. Sean P. Diddy Combs and Kim Porter met. Kim Porter and Diddy began dating in the 90s. Per reports, the on-again, off-again couple began their relationship in 1994. And after 4 years of dating, they welcomed their first child together in 1998, a son named Christian Casey, right? So we know that Sean Puffy Combs met Kim Porter sometime in the late 1994 after he got out of his relationship with his then baby mother, Amisa Hilton, at that particular time, correct? 1994. Okay. So now, let me take you here so that you understand exactly where I'm coming from with this straight game, man. Look, watch this. 1, 2, 3. So, this is Sean P. Diddy Combs and Kimberly Porter during a New Year's Eve celebration on December 31st, 1994. Photo Nitro Getty. When Combs met Porter, she had just walked into Uptown Records, where he was doing A&R with her ex-boyfriend, producer, and singer Albie Shore, right? Now, we know for a fact Tupac was shot. When? When was Tupac shot? For y'all that don't know, I'm going to help y'all out. Y'all ready? Okay. Now, we know for a fact that Tupac was shot when? On Wednesday, November 30th, 1994. Tupac was ambushed and shot inside the lobby of a recording studio in Manhattan's Times Square. Tupac's team of criminal attorneys had been in New York with Tupac awaiting a verdict on the sexual assault charges against the rapper. Tupac's attorneys afterwards said the shooting looks like a setup and smells like a setup. Later, Tupac publicly blamed Biggie Smalls, who was upstairs in a recording session at the time, in helping to set up the attack. Right? So we know that this was before that Christmas party. Right? We know that Sean P. Diddy Combs and Kim Porter had just met in around that time because Kim Porter had a baby by Albie Shore. Now, understanding that, the night after Tupac was shot, let's go back. The night after Tupac was shot, Tupac was so paranoid, he didn't even let Biggie into the hospital room, according to Tupac's father, whom I interviewed on The Art of Dialogue, right? So now, November 30th, anything after November 30th, Tupac ain't have nothing, absolutely positively nothing to do with Sean P. Diddy Combs or Biggie Smalls, for that matter. Correct? For the people who know the story. So with that being said, when was it that Sean P. Diddy Combs allegedly propositioned Tupac with a threesome involving Kim Porter, and they had just met? So in between and up until that time, after that, it couldn't have happened after November 30th. Tupac was recuperating. Remember, he's at Jasmine Guy's house. Tupac's father said that also when he went to Jasmine Guy's house to see Tupac. Tupac then pulled down his pants and showed him, Daddy, they said he shot my balls off. No, boom. But he was shot down in near that direction. And Tupac was in too much pain, Billy Garland Sr. said. He was in too much pain. He couldn't move. He had a pistol on him. He had all of these things because he was paranoid, right? So now, once again, he was going to trial up until that point. And Kim Porter, let's talk about this. Kim Porter being one of those individuals, doesn't say it about her character. Now, let me show you in where Sean P. Diddy Combs, but let's go here. Let me do this other one first. Let me do this one first. You know what? Let's go here. Right? No, we just went there. Let's go here. Okay. Now, Tupac Shakur was sentenced to 1.5 to 4.5 years in prison for sexual assault in 1994. He served 9 months at the Clinton Correctional Facility beginning on February 14th, 1995. He was released on a $1.4 million bail that was put up for him by Suge Knight. We know that not to be true, but then Tupac was let out of jail on October 12th, 1995, right? So now, understand the timeline. He's going to court for the sexual assault. He gets shot on November 30th, 1994, right? Okay. So now we understand that. But let me show you who Sean P. Diddy Combs was. For most people that don't know or can't understand what this was about. Look, once again. So now, Sean P. Diddy Combs propositioning Tupac to be with him and Kim. Like I said, you've seen the picture. They had the Christmas party. So anytime after November 30th, they not. So when did this happen? It didn't happen. It's a lie. Look, here's Sean P. Diddy Combs' demeanor and how Kim Porter felt in a real life interview that she gave. He would say he needed to see his son. This how serious she was. She wouldn't even let Sean P. Diddy Combs see his son. But I was at a place where just the sight of him would turn my stomach, Porter said. My feelings was, you made this decision, now stay over there. I can't repeat everything I said at the time because it's really not that ladylike, but I was very expressive about it. After they broke up, Kim Porter entered into a new relationship with music executive Shakir Stewart in 2000, which allegedly angered Combs. Per a May 2024 report by Rolling Stones, Diddy allegedly broke a chair on Stewart's head while the two men and Porter were in Italy for L.A. Reid's wedding. He left him bleeding on a hotel floor in Italy. Stewart's mother, Portia, reportedly told Rolling Stone he had to have stitches, and then Combs threatened him, I'm going to kill you. That's when I said, you need to get out of this business. This man is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the real life relationship that Kim Porter was explaining. Sean P. Diddy Combs was jealous about the fact that Kim had met somebody new outside of them having a relationship, but the author, Jamal Todd, wants you to believe that somehow, some way, Sean P. Diddy Combs propositioned Tupac Shakur to have a threesome with him and Kim Porter, right? And the reason why Kim Porter was mad because Puffy had a baby by what was the young lady's name? I can't think of her name. I can't think of her name. But he had a baby by another young lady, right? Sarah Chapman is her name. There you go. Sarah Chapman. He had a baby by Sarah Chapman. And she was mad, basically saying, hey, you chose to be over there. This wasn't with another man or anything like that. This is with Sarah Chapman, right? Whom Tupac had a relationship with, and that is confirmed through photos. Tupac did have a relationship with Sarah Chapman, right? After Sean P. Diddy Combs. That's true. You understand what I'm saying? So once again, when the author is implying that some way, somehow, there was a relationship with Tupac Shakur and Kim Porter, it simply didn't happen. They had just met. And you see, once again, how Kim Porter was carrying it. Kim Porter was like, what she said? He would say he needed to see his son. But I was at a place where just the sight of him would turn my stomach. So you think that Sean P. Diddy Combs could go and ask Kim Porter about a threesome with Tupac? And allegedly, the author once again hiccuped and said, well, Tupac already had her. So why would Tupac need to go and have a threesome? Or even, well, the bigger question is who told Sean Puffy Combs that Tupac had sex with Kim Porter? I know damn well Tupac didn't tell him. Right? And the fiction writer is trying to get us to believe that somehow Kim Porter left this information on a hard drive. But once again, I showed you guys, and where Faith Evans did the same thing in relation to Tupac. And then I showed you that she was in the studio with him. I showed you the interview, right? I was there at the Hollywood Athletic Club to see when they first met. Right? She went back to his hotel the first night. Faith did. Absolutely. And it wasn't until the next day, after they did, you wonder why they call you bitch, that they had sex. The world didn't know anything about that until I told them. And then I showed you the Chuck Phillips interview with her actually in the studio singing. You wonder why they call you bitch, after she did an interview basically saying that she was never in the studio with Tupac. It was some track for somebody else's album. Right? So now we go back to, once again, I'm going to go back to the author and what he said. Let's go back to this guy. This guy, Chuck Todd. He's not from the culture. I don't think he understands what he just did. So I'm gonna read it again. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship, and yes, I slept with Pac. Open relationship when? They just met in 94, right? Pac got shot on November 30th. Sean P. Diddy Combs and Kim Porter, they just met. They had the first time she said she met him was she was going to the studio. He was dealing with Al B. Shaw at the time, working as an intern A&R up at Uptown, right? And where she started and had a job at Uptown Entertainment. Most people don't know that. Kim Porter worked at Uptown. And they had a real tight relationship. So now, once again, when did this happen? Because we've proven through the timeline that it couldn't have happened before Pac was going to court. Pac was shooting above the rim. He caught the situation with the girl. He's going to court. He gets shot on the 30th. Anything after the 30th, it's not happening. Anything after October 12, 1995, it's not happening. It was on, right? And to have us believe, once again, Tupac really didn't say anything about Sarah Chapman when Puffy had dealt with her before Tupac, right? It didn't really mean nothing to Tupac like that, right? So this is where the relationship became between them became strained, right? You can see where they're trying to impute something. The situation became strained. Now that may have been over Sarah Chapman, but it wasn't over Kim Porter. You see how they changed the names? You got to understand what this is. Tupac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Really? Are you kidding me? Do you think that would have happened and Tupac wouldn't have said nothing during the time that he was having beef with Sean P. Diddy Combs? Right? Pac wasn't gay. Right? Who insinuated that Kim Porter at that particular time would know that Tupac wasn't gay? He wasn't, but I'm saying to make that judgment from that perspective. You understand what I'm saying? From what the author is trying to imply. And he was pissed about the advances, right? So if he was pissed about the advances, so we were all sitting down, right? And then basically, Sean P. Diddy Combs said, oh, you didn't hit that better than me. So who volunteered to Sean P. Diddy Combs that Tupac and Kim Porter had been together? And then you go back and then you understand this. You say to yourself, what? Because they met in 94, right? So when did Kim Porter meet Tupac? When did their relationship? Look, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kimberly Porter doing a New Year's Eve celebration December 31st, 1994. Right? When Combs met Porter, she had just walked into Uptown Records where he was doing the A&R with her ex-boyfriend, right? Producer and singer Albie Shore. So when did it happen? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. They met at the end of 1994. Sean P. Diddy Combs working with ex-boyfriend Albie Shore. It didn't happen. It's a lie. It's a lie. Right? He going to court. Goes to jail. February 14th, 1995. And mind you, right? Mind you, when you understand what led up to the situation, when you talk about Tupac going to court for the situation involving the girl, right? This situation is involving Haitian Jack. Pac ain't really dealing with too many people at that situation. You know, he's even calling Haitian Jack out at that particular time in regards to the situation, right? And so now, where did this happen at? Come on, y'all. Chris, Jamal, Todd, we know that you're lying. We know nobody gave you a hard drive with any information on it. All of these stories are from YouTube. Notice when the book came out shortly after Sean P. Diddy Combs went to jail. It wasn't about being scared, you know, that Sean P. Diddy Combs was going to do something to him, right? The cease and desist and all of that stuff. Like I said, he's alleging that it came from Kim Porter. No, it didn't. We seen the interview, as I showed you just now, right? We seen the interview with Kim Porter. This is a real interview right here. Sean P. Diddy bust the dude upside the head about Kim Porter, right? Period. I don't know if they were having the twins yet at this particular time, right? But in 2000, this was in 2000. So no, they didn't. This is in 2000, right? Maybe so, in 2000, right? Look. But so now with this, you contrast this with a real interview of Kim Porter talking. Look at the language. He would say he needed to see his son. But I was at a place where the sight of him would turn my stomach. Porter said, my feelings was, you made this decision. Now stay over there. Stay over there where? Sean P. Diddy Combs had got Sarah Chapman pregnant. I can't repeat everything I said at the time because it's really not that ladylike, right? Come on. You see what I'm saying? So this is 2000. Ain't nothing happening. Pac is dead. All of that's done, right? And Chris, Jamal, Todd wants us to believe that this came from this right here, that this came from Kim Porter. This right here. He wants us to believe that this right here came from Kim Porter. Read it one more time. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship. Huh? So she was with Sean P. Diddy Combs, right? When she met Tupac. And yes, I slept with Pac. When was that? Because they didn't meet till 94. So when did that happen? It didn't happen, man. Read the first one. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship. And yes, I slept with Tupac. Shit, he was sexy. Sean didn't mind. Huh? So she's saying that Sean P. Diddy Combs knew that she slept with Tupac, but bust Shakir Stewart upside the head after they wasn't even together no more. Huh? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. And he didn't mind. Well, not until he tried to get Pac to join both of us. Pac was not good with that. You know why Tupac wasn't good with that? Because it didn't happen. After November 30th, 1994, Sean P. Diddy Combs and Tupac had no words. And what the author is suggesting is that when Kim Porter said that she met Tupac, that her and Sean were in an open relationship. An open relationship? How? She didn't want nothing to do with him after he had the baby by Sarah Chapman. She was like, I'm done. She said the thoughts of looking at him made me sick in my stomach. Huh? So when was that? He's suggesting that Sean P. Diddy Combs and Kim Porter were together when this situation happened. They were in the house. When? It didn't happen. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.